Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp games. e5 is a common response that establishes a presence in the center, controls d4, and opens up the queen and dark-squared bishop. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the e5 pawn, and prepares to castle. Knight c6 develops the knight toward the center, protects the pawn on e5, and eyes the d4 square. The Ruy Lopez opening develops the bishop to immediately attack the knight on c6, the lone defender of the e5 pawn. a6 forces the bishop to decide exchange or retreat. Bishop a4 safely retreats the bishop while keeping pressure on the knight. Knight f6 attacks the undefended e4 pawn and develops the knight at the same time. d3 protects the e4 pawn and allows the dark-squared bishop to develop. b5 takes space on the queen side, attacks the bishop on a4, and allows black to fianchetto the light-squared bishop to b7, the correct move to safety. Black develops the bishop and attacks the center. Textbook play so far. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. Castling gets the king out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This is not the right idea. Castling to the same side of the board is a more cautious approach. Very precise. This is the strongest option. There were worse moves, but also something much better. The pawn is now adequately defended. This creates space for the king to move in case it is attacked, developing the bishop and increasing influence in the center. Right on target. Very precise. This is the strongest option. This connects the rooks, which helps them work together. That's fine. This misses an opportunity to prepare a retreat square for the king. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. This is a fair move. White's knight has moved to a square with greater activity and control. This moves the bishop to a more active square. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Takes back. Right on target. Very precise. This is the strongest option. This attacks a knight, winning a tempo when it moves away. The clearly correct move for a threatened knight. The knight finds a new active square. This creates luft for the king, providing it an escape square. The piece finds a new active square. This prevents the opponent from being able to sacrifice a rook for a nice tactic. This mobilizes the knight, allowing it to control more of the board. This offers an equal trade of pieces. This misses an opportunity to centralize a knight so it controls more squares. Recaptures. That was a free pawn. This overlooks an opportunity to create a pawn chain. Right on target. Very precise. This connects the rooks, which helps them work together. This defends the attacked pawn. This threatens to eventually win a pawn. This overlooks an opportunity to centralize a knight so it controls more squares. This threatens to win a pawn through a fork. This prevents the opponent from being able to eventually win a pawn. This is not the right idea. This overlooks an opportunity to connect rooks. This allows the knight to control more squares. This is an equal trade. This is the strongest option. The correct move to safety. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This prevents the opponent from being able to tactically win a pawn. This permits the opponent to create a passed pawn. This overlooks an opportunity to create a passed pawn. A straightforward recapture. This is the only good move. This makes a passed pawn. This overlooks an opportunity to move a queen to safety. A clear recapture. Black will be winning a pawn with that fork. The correct move to safety. Taking that pawn wins material after the follow-up trades are made. This permits the opponent to win a tempo by threatening a rook. This attacks a rook, winning a tempo when it moves away. The clearly correct move for a threatened rook. This allows the opponent to eventually win a pawn. This overlooks a better way to tactically win a pawn. This misses an opportunity to defend a bishop that was under attack. This wins time by threatening a rook and forcing it to move away. This loses material. This wins material. This move puts the rook on a safer square. Right on target. A solid choice. This is the way to win a rook. This moves the rook to safety. This is the way to win a pawn. A straightforward recapture. That pawn was free for the taking. Very precise. That was a free pawn. This is the strongest option. That pawn was free for the taking. This steps away from the checking rook. Right on target. Very precise. White's knight has moved to a square with greater activity and control. This is the strongest option. This is the way to win a knight. Right on target. Very precise. This steps away from the checking rook. This moves the knight to safety. This steps away from the checking knight. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. One of the best moves. This wins a knight. A very strong play. A clear recapture.